This is my story of how I saved someone's life. I was pretty excited that I was climbing a mountain of over 6,000 meter high. I started crossing Glacier. I was a bit scared and excited at the same time as it was my first summit attempt, but I kept on going. As I was climbing at my own pace, when I reached there, as you can see on Google Map, when I reached there, I was looking at the top and enjoying the magnificent view of the mountain through my binocular. Suddenly, I saw someone falling off the cliff. If it wasn't for my binocular, I would have missed that for sure. The only thing that was going through my mind was, I gotta save this person. So I hustled and it took me around half an hour to reach there. He was lying unconsciously at the edge of the cliff and his head was bleeding pretty badly. I checked his whole body and luckily there was no any fractures, just some minor cuts on his face and limbs. I took out my first aid kit and gave him some painkiller, cut his hair, cleaned all his wound, bandaged him, and I did everything I could. And at the same time, I was shouting and whistling for help. Luckily, one guide heard me and came to us. The base camp was far away and we had no signals up there. So I told him to go to the base camp and send a rescue team as soon as possible. So we were just waiting for help, all alone that high. I was singing most of the time to ease his pain and constantly rubbing his back to keep him warm.
जहाँ छन् बुधका आँखा स्नेह शान्तहरूसँग त्यहाँ छ शान्तिको क्षेत्र मेरो राष्ट्र प्राणभन्दा प्यारो लाग्छ मेरो देश कता कता माया नेपालको लाग्छ नेपाली इतिहासको माया नेपालको लाग्छ नेपाली इतिहासको माया प्रकृतिको लाग्छ कला भाषा र भेषको पर्छु यो सपना तरी बसी जन्म भूमिश्च स्वर्गादपि गरीयसी
I kept singing and singing. It was all like this for almost 3 hours, and still there was no sign of rescue team there. I was trying to comfort him as much as I could, and I kept telling him that everything would be fine. I was getting worried. There was nothing that I could do than just to wait. Finally, the rescue team showed up. It took them a while to get up there, but I was extremely happy and relieved. I told them to take him to the base camp and I would finish what I came here for. But the injured guy kept calling my name and wanted me to go to the base camp too. But I traveled so far just to be at the top, and I was just a couple of 100 meters away from my dream. So I promised him that I would get back to base camp as soon as I can and meet him. Then I continued my climbing, though I was exhausted and weak by the time because I was sick from the beginning of my trip. But I was determined and wanted to be on the top of the dark so badly. Being on the top was such a magical moment. I was extremely happy and proud. I felt like I conquered the mountain.
you.